your first month as a closer, you made 11K.
My first 3 weeks as a closer. That's fucking
hilarious. So I had the pleasure of flying out to the Netherlands a few weeks ago to interview one of our most recent club closer students, Eamon. And what you're gonna see here isn't a typical rags to riches story. How he's gone from making no money for himself to making 10K plus a month as a high ticket closer, just working in the Dutch market.
The funny thing is, my first month as a closer was an 11K month.
I think you're gonna get a lot of value out of this one, and I'd really recommend you stick around to the end because I do get him a little gift, which is a nice surprise for him. But yeah, if you enjoy the video, give it a like, drop a subscribe, and hope you enjoy it. Yeah, bro, it's good to finally meet you, obviously.
Same, man.
We were chatting a minute before, and loads of stuff started coming out, so I'm glad we kind of started recording. I guess like first question, like what got you into closing? Like what's your story before?
Good question, man. So first things first, like I enjoyed college. Like I enjoyed it in the Netherlands. Then I went to the United States and I really had some fun. But then after college, like reality hit. Like I don't want to go into like a normal 9 to 5. I don't want to be in the same place all the time. I want to have this fun life that I had the past years.
Yeah.
You know, traveling, meeting people, doing all this stuff. But it wasn't possible. So then reality hit me like, fuck, what are we gonna do now? You know. And then I just started looking at, you know, drop shipping, e-commerce, everything. And then, yeah, high ticket sales came along and then I was like, okay, this could be something. Because
you don't have like the most traditional upbringing in terms of like, come from a pretty wealthy family.
Yeah, that's true.
Had a lot of things that like kind of laid out for you. Like your dad's pretty famous in the Netherlands, which is kind of funny. What kind of made you go like, okay, cool, like I need to go and make my own money as opposed to just like, what most wealthy people do and just be like, oh, I've got it. I don't need to do any work myself.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good question, man. The thing is, like, I've always been able to do whatever I wanted. So, like, I wanted to study in the United States at like a crazy university. I went and did it. I wanted to travel.
What did you study?
So I went to California, in California State University, and I studied Californian real estate for like 2 years.
So. You looked into becoming an estate agent.
Yeah, exactly. I matched my sales skills with it now.
Yeah, of course.
But then, yeah, when I finished the study in the United States, I flew back home to Amsterdam, and then I was like, fuck, what now, you know? And, you know, I did want that feeling to, like, you know, something to be proud of, you know? I mean, I can go spend my dad's money, you know? I've always been able to buy most of the things that I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was just that feeling like I want to make my own money, you know? And
it doesn't feel the same, right? Spending someone else's money as opposed to your own.
Exactly. And, like, being able to spend that kind of money, you're not going to be able to spend it with a normal 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So that was when I started looking for like different things, you know. And the funny thing is, my family didn't like. They weren't like. I didn't have to do it. They were like, you know, just have a normal job. You don't need to do all of this.
Yeah. So there's no pressure for you to go and like do your own thing.
No, absolutely not. But it was just like from a sort of inner fire, you know. I really wanted something.
I think that's pretty important though. Like as a kind of a man, you want to make your own money. You want to do your own thing. Like
exactly.
You don't feel any purpose if you're just like leeching off someone else or.
No, you don't want to be that guy that has to go to his family always for money, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So that's such a good feeling, man.
So you looked at all this other stuff online. What appealed to you about sales? Because did you know about high ticket closing before you found us?
To be honest, not really. Like I've heard a little about it left and right, but then like you explained it pretty well in the videos, like, and then I get energy from people. So maybe that's also why I didn't want to have like a regular job. And then I was like, wow, so you just talk to people, you're really helping them, you know, you pitch the product, but you also get to like be yourself. And I was like, okay, this could be something that I can do.
Because what's really funny is Matthias was telling me you're killing it at the moment.
Yeah.
But he was like, Eamon doesn't really do objection handling too well, but his discovery is so good because he has such good conversations with people that they actually don't give that many objections.
It's true.
So like you obviously got that unlocked pretty well, and that probably comes from like a lot of the partying and like socializing you've done.
Exactly.
Like, you just know how to talk to people.
Yeah. So the thing is like a sales call doesn't feel for work for me as work, because the thing is I genuinely am interested in these people.
Yeah.
So like normally sales calls within our company are like 45 minutes. With me sometimes they take 1.5 hours, just because I'm enjoying it so much, and then I already know everything, but I want to know more about them.
Yeah.
And then when I pitch them the products, I can like genuinely tell them like, hey, this is like, I really know you now. This is really going to help you. And then they're like, yeah, let's do it.
But what's nuts, like, I think a lot of people in sales, like, I see it all the time. People are so focused on like frameworks and like, make sure you ask these questions. But it's just like getting that kind of over understanding of a person's situation to then be able to help them. And if you can't have that genuine conversation, like, you're not going to get anywhere.
Exactly. It's like, the funny thing is, my first month as a closer was an 11K month. The first month.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the first month because I had 1 week of doing another job within the company, and then Matthias told me.
Yeah, you started as a setter.
As a setter.
Triager.
Triager.
Right? Yeah.
Triager. And then I did that for like a long time, and then I don't know what it was. I think like maybe February. I was like in the first week of February, I was still triaging, and then Matthias said like, "Hey, we're gonna give you a shot with the company." So then I had 3 weeks to prove myself. Not even 3 weeks. You have a few days. If it works out, you can keep closing. If it doesn't work out, you go back to triaging. So then I was like, all right, all hands on deck.
It's your first month as a closer. You made 11K.
My first 3 weeks as a closer.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and that's just so. And the funny thing is, in those first 3 weeks, I think I counted it. I closed like 26 people. I had 2 times objections.
Really?
I swear to God, 24 people were just. Let's do it.
But like also like it very much depends on the offer. I think it's important to note like the offer you currently work on, it's not like everyone's coming down as laydowns and like
no.
Because if you look at all the other closers in that company, they're not performing necessarily as well as you, and like you do get objections on those calls quite frequently.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, people don't, because we sell like e-commerce related consultancies.
I didn't know how much you wanted to talk about the company specifically, but it's up to you to however open you want to be.
I don't mind. The thing is, like, people they don't understand it yet, so they're like very very held back normally.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm so good in discovering them, even though I say it myself and just
whatever.
It's like, you want to do it, they're like, yeah, why not? You know, it's fun, man. Like the cool thing is that, like, of course the money is cool, but also I've already had like 2 or 3 times that people call me like, hey, you know, the first 5 or 10K is made, and I'm so happy and I feel so good. You know,
that's the best thing.
The best feeling.
Like
ever,
sitting here with you.
Yeah.
Like forget you know you paid us to join Club Closer. Like knowing that you've done well and you're actually getting results. Like it's the best feeling. Like being able to do something and help someone.
Yeah.
Yes, you're selling them.
Yeah.
And obviously sometimes I remember when you joined, you were super skeptical.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you thought we were, or like if you thought we were legit, or like you thought the opportunity was legit. I don't know, but like getting you over, if you never get over that fear, you wouldn't be in the position you are now.
And looking back at it, that has helped me so much, because I can literally see myself in leads because they're skeptical and they're scared. And I'm thinking like, dude, if I hadn't made this decision, my life would be so much more bad at this point, you know?
What do you think you'd be doing?
Spending daddy's money and partying.
Still at all the nightclubs.
Yeah. But that's also the cool thing. Like I was talking about this with Matthias as well, and this is honestly the best thing closing has brought me. I live in a pretty sick house in Amsterdam. It's like a penthouse, also from my family. And we were having dinner last week, and then we do this thing with friends where we say like, you know, 1 personal accomplishment and then 1 business accomplishment. And then I told them, this is the first time in my life that I feel like I deserve to live in that house.
Really?
Really.
That's
because
sick.
at this point, I could pay the rent myself.
Yeah.
It would still be a huge cut out of my pay salary, but it would be possible.
You could afford it.
Yeah. You know, up until this point, it was only possible because of the family.
Yeah.
Now it's possible because of me.
That's sick.
That's such a good feeling, bro.
That's such a good feeling. Because I think we skipped a bit, because your first month, like, just for context, you didn't make 11K as soon as you joined Club Closer. But like the story of you joining Club Closer, and I think it's important to touch on the networking side of like this space and like online sales. You got helped out massively with Matthias.
A lot.
Set you up big time.
A lot.
But that's part of like how you win, and like, well, you know it probably from networking in the circles you swing in before. Like it's so important.
Yeah.
Like what was the transition from like, cool, you've joined Club Closer to then obviously getting that 11K a month?
Good question. So obviously when I joined Club Closer, maybe it's a good thing to note that when I joined Club Closer, I was so, I wouldn't say fed up with the situation, that I didn't have much to wake up for, because school was done. I wasn't like working full time, you know, I was working a little bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have something to wake up for to motivate me, you know. And then with that sales call with Tom and Matthias, because I had 2 calls.
I remember.
Especially the one with Matthias, it was pretty emotional. I was like, bro, like I could say I have everything in the world. I have family, I have wealth, I can do whatever I want. Yeah. But I'm just not happy because I don't have a thing to like.
You don't have a purpose. Like,
exactly, no purpose.
Living.
Yeah, so that's especially that second call with Matthias. It was pretty emotional. And then Matthias was like, dude, if you're this motivated as you're telling me right now, go for it. Go into a tunnel vision and you know, you'll turn your whole life around in 90 days. And at that point, I was like, you know, I don't have much to lose because I'm not that happy now anyways.
Yeah.
Let me just go for it. And then I just went 3 months all out. Like the day I joined Club Closer is the day I quit drinking for 3 months. I didn't go to any party for 3 months, which in my case is a pretty special occasion. For some people it might be more normal. And then just things started coming, man. If you focus on good things, like good things come your way. So first did a lot of role plays, like started talking with everyone in the group.
You were super, super active.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big sign, is that the more active you are, the more involved you are, the better the results you're going to get.
Exactly. And I remember, like, the cool thing is also, like, everyone really helps each other. I remember Cameron is his name.
Yeah.
He was already making, like...
Tom's mate.
Yeah, exactly. He was already making, like, 10K. Like, he joined the program a lot earlier. He found a role. And then my first role play, I texted him, like, hey, would you be down to maybe one day role play? Because you're already making 10K. And his reaction, like, let's do it right now.
Sick.
And dude, I got stressed. I'm like, fuck, you know, I'm not at this level yet. I've done one role play. And then I did a role play with him, and he was like, dude, I can tell you're nervous, but trust me, it's going to be fine. And that gave me such a good feeling, man.
That's like my favorite part about Club Closer is the community. Like the guys in there, I don't know what, like, I don't want to take really any credit for it because it's very self-managed and you guys like do your own thing. But I think the people we get in are so welcoming and so nice that like they all want to help each other out, and the space is big enough, everybody can win.
Exactly. And it's so funny for me to see that, like, what Cameron was to me back then, I'm now to other guys, you know?
Yeah,
like,
which is sick.
When I post a result, like when I posted that 11K in 1 month post, I got like 6 DMs of guys telling me like, hey, would you be down to someday roleplay?
Yeah.
And all of them, I said the exact same thing, let's do it right now.
Yeah, why not?
Why not, you know? So the community thing is crazy, man. It's like, it's really a family.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it. So it was 90 days, you hit 10K in 90 days, right? Was it? Yeah, the third month, you landed the role. Yeah, Matthias set you up with
Exactly. In the second month, I already hit like 5K as a triager.
Yeah, that's wild. But what's really interesting as well, like, I think a lot of people think that you have to get a closing job, like in the US, or like for the States, it's the biggest country, it's, probably got the biggest market for high ticket closers. Yeah. But you work purely in the Netherlands. Yeah. With just people that, you sell in Dutch. You don't sell in English.
No, I don't. So the crazy thing is, like, what you're saying right now was one of my biggest objections before joining Club Closer, because when I talked to Tom is a good closer. Like he explained the full picture, he told me everything. But then my objection was like, okay, it sounds good, but like all of you guys are English. Like I'm from the Netherlands. Can I speak to someone who's from here just to see if there's a market in here? Yeah. And then Matthias obviously is a Dutch guy, so he was like, of course I can understand it. You're new to it, but believe me, you can do this from any place in the world. And it's so funny because back then I didn't know, but now I'm working for a Dutch offer, only Dutch clients, only, even the program is in Dutch, so if you're English you can't even join because you won't understand the program. And now I know closers from South Africa. We even got a guy in Vegas, Australia, all over the world, right?
What, in Club Closer you mean? Closer. Yeah, oh bro, we've got guys all over. Yeah. All over. I think we've got guys selling in German. Mostly do sell in English, but like there are obviously opportunities in other countries, which is very cool. But bro, I think it's crazy like what's happened in the last few months. From you, because I want to know about the story about going to South Africa with, was it Tyus you went with? It does like very big numbers as well. Yeah. How did you get that?
So that's a good question. So when my first role as my first job within this space was as a triager, and my job interview was with Thijs.
Yeah, so I've met Thijs by the way. We went for dinner last time I was here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. And he's also a crazy closer, like making insane numbers. And then Thijs was the one who hired me within the company, and then he actually moved away to a different company. And then when I first started making my money, like my actual real money, I was like, I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna go to South Africa.
You said that from day one, I think. You said you wanted to go to South Africa.
Yeah, it's true. I was like, I've always wanted to experience the culture. And the thing is, like, if you go to a place for a holiday, you're not going to experience the culture. You know? If you're there for 2 months, you're going to experience the culture.
100%.
So then I was there, and because of some circumstances, like, I was actually with my dad, but he had to leave. So then I had, like, this big apartment all to myself. And then I called Thijs. I was like, I know you do the same job. I know you can do it from any place in the world. Like, there's not a thing you can say.
Was he working for Dropship Academy at the time? Or?
No, he was already working.
He was
for
the other offer. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, just book a call and come to me right now. And he was like, I mean, I can do it. The funds are there. There's not a single objection to give, but it just feels weird. And then I actually closed him on the deal, and he booked that plane ticket while we were talking. And then he flew to me. We had the best time ever, man. Like, so
it's a beautiful country.
Closing deals during the day, doing fun stuff at night. You know, in the weekends we had a day off to do hikes, explore mountains. It was so good.
So one of the best stories, I think you said, you closed the call on your way out to South Africa?
Yeah.
Or was it on the way back?
On the way there.
On the way there. So tell us about that close, because that's wild that like you even did that.
So yeah, as I told you, like my family's pretty wealthy, so like I'm used to flying like business class and that kind of stuff. So I flew with Emirates from Amsterdam to Dubai and then Dubai to South Africa, and I flew business class. And the Wi-Fi on the plane of Emirates is pretty good.
I still can't get over it. It's that great.
It's really good.
Like
and then I had this guy. It was like a follow-up. We already had chitted like a little while, but like he wanted some more information, and he was still a little hesitant. And then I was like, "Dude, I'm on the plane right now, but let's book in a call right now." And he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Are you on a plane?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I said, "But the other side."
You know, he's definitely hearing like the aeroplane noise, like,
yeah,
rumble in the background.
Yeah, you have like the whole cabin in Emirates is sick. And then I just did my thing with him, and he ended up like I ended up closing him. And the funniest thing was like, dude, I just made money while being on this flight.
Yeah, literally made the plane ticket. That's so funny.
Yeah, I made my plane ticket back.
I don't think I know anyone that's done that. Like closed the call, live call. I get like on the messenger maybe, but like actually on a plane. That's very cool.
And yeah, it was so cool, dude. Another thing where I really like, I love this job, man. Like I really do.
I can tell, bro. Like I'm honestly like. Your story, I think, is just so different because of the whole like wealth thing and like your background's not just all. There's no reason why you need to do this, but like I'm so proud and impressed that like you've got the motivation to go and do this off your own back. When there's like, because I've never been in that position where, like, yeah, I came from not necessarily a poor background by any means, but like I didn't have everything laid out for me that I couldn't put my feet up and do nothing. Like I'd always have to work.
Yeah.
But like I'd love to. I don't know what I'd be like if say there was like a bank account with like 10 mil in it for me forever. Would I have started a business? Would I have done anything? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So props to you for the motivation, man. I think it's very inspiring.
And like to conclude the story, I'm happier than ever since I started closing, man. I also told this to Matthias, but like closing also makes you like, I wouldn't say a better person, but it helps you in real life, like I'm able to understand people better now.
Yeah, the conversations you have are so much better. You ask so much better questions.
Whenever one of my friends has like a shitty day or like he's going through family shit or whatsoever, I can really help him. Like I'm like, bro, what's happening? Like talk to me. I'm gonna understand you and I'm gonna help you. So I'm almost sending him the payment link.
What's next? Like you've obviously gone from. When did you join Club Closer? How many months has it been?
December 19th. I'm never gonna forget the date.
December 19th. So it's been what, like 5 months?
Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah, about 5, maybe closing on 6.
Yeah, I've been closing for 3 months now.
So 3 months, and you've got to like 10K a month. What's like your plan now? Because obviously, like, come on, like you're not going to be a closer forever. Let's be honest. Like,
good question.
You're definitely going to have bigger dreams, I'm sure.
Good question. So
have you even thought about it?
Yeah, I do all the time. The thing is, like, I'm still really happy with closing at the moment. So I think I'm for sure like still gonna see myself doing this a couple of years, and then the crazy thing is for me, it's not. I mean, the money is nice, but it's not in the money because the money has always been there. So now I really want to build like an empire. So maybe from this point on, I for sure want to become the best closer and the best version of myself. But I think these two are like correlated.
Yeah.
And then maybe start an own agency maybe, or maybe not even in closing, but just the idea of helping people. Like I can really tell that that's giving me purpose.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll want to expand on that. I don't know.
I think the reason you've had so much success with sales, and this might be an assumption, but because it sounds like your priority is helping people like number one, as opposed to trying to get a sale or trying to like, send a payment link, get the payment. It's always about helping first. Yeah. And if you always lead with like, okay, how can I help? How can I add the value? How can I show this person that this thing is actually going to benefit them as opposed to just benefit me? Yeah. You're going to get way further. And I think that's exactly why you're doing so well with it. Really true.
The funny thing is, I was closing yesterday, and okay, Matthias might not be amused to hear this, but there were people, and like we did this whole discovery, and they were like kind of on the budget, and they had 2 kids, and they were like we know we could do it, but it's gonna be like one of our final savings, and I think we're gonna do it, but it's just gonna be a little scary with the money. And then I told them like, okay guys, if you're telling me this and you have 2 kids, even though I could close you right now, I don't want to bring you into that decision, especially because you have 2 small kids. So I told them like, hey, let's just do a down payment, and then in 2 or 3 weeks, when the financial situation is a lot better and you can do this with a more rested feeling, let's do it then. And bro, these leads almost got emotional, like, oh wow, I can tell you're really trying to help us.
You actually give a shit, which is so important, important.
And then the funny thing is, they texted me this morning that they're like, they told the story to one of their dads, like the dad of the guy, and he was like, you know, I'll just give you the money.
Wow.
And now they started, and they told me like, we're doing it now with so much a better feeling than we would have done it in the first place with our own money.
That's I have a bit of like a resentment around like the online space and how kind of like seedy it is. Like, and obviously we're in that industry. Obviously, Club Closer, we've got an info product. The info product space is like somewhat shitty as a whole, but like to see people like you doing it right and not just going like money grabbing, I think it's like so much better, and it definitely like serves you better in the long run. Like you might not have got that sale if you'd have pushed over the line, or those people wouldn't have got the same results or gone in with it the same mindset.
Exactly.
It really does make the difference.
It really does. Best job in the world, man. So what's next for you now? Like, because just out of curiosity.
Bro, I'm just gonna keep growing Club Closer, I think.
Yeah.
I start of the year. Oh, well, not maybe start of the year. Maybe like 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I was looking like, okay, I've always wanted to build a business to sell it, and Club Closer was doing well. And I think now, just like looking at like the team we've got, you know, I don't know if you saw, I posted that video of surprising Noah the award.
Yeah, I did.
I was like, I was right on that. I was like, okay, we actually have like 9 team members. We've helped over 300 students. Like, why stop now? And like, even though I don't love the info product space as an industry, I think it's better with me in it than with me without it, if that makes sense. Like 100%. If there's another closing business that comes in and does things, like there are a few, obviously not to name names, that don't do things as ethically and as like to such a high standard. Like, I'd rather be, if you're gonna learn from someone, at least fucking learn from me, and I'll try and make your experience like as good as possible. But yeah, I don't have like any sort of real long-term visions other than just like, I just want to keep building this thing.
Because the crazy thing is, like, you also change lives. Like, you might not close people on like on e-commerce courses or whatsoever, but you changed my life. And I remember, like, when I started, there was like 9 guys starting out in the same like 1 or 2 weeks. One of them was Ben. Yeah, Ben's also doing 10K a month.
Yeah, Ben's killing it.
So you changed my life, you changed Ben's life. So many people do. It's like,
yeah, it is. I don't really deep it like too much.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot more, like, I don't want to take all the credit, because
this is the only moment in your life you're going to see Marcus like a little shy.
But you did it yourself, is what I'm saying. Like, I said to the whole team, like, they're all part of that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, if Noah wasn't in the inbox messaging you, if Tom wasn't that cool with you, if Matthias wasn't that cool, they've all helped change your life. Like, it's not just me. Like, cool, I might have given you an outlet to look into, and like, you've seen me on the videos, you see me the face, but like, there is so much more that goes into it. Yeah. And I think an individual, at the end of the day, if you hadn't have taken that kind of, that step forward and, you know, bought in, then like, you wouldn't have changed it. So you change your own life is what I'm trying to say, more than anything. True, like, you make your own luck, you make your own future, I think.
So crazy, man. You just need one opportunity in life, man. Like,
yeah, one change, and it can change like the whole trajectory.
It changed the whole thing, man. Like, if I wouldn't have done that day, I don't want to know where I would be today regarding like how happy I was and everything. Yeah. So it's crazy.
We can wrap things up here. I want to ask you one more question though. What would be like your biggest advice? And I don't want you just like pushing Club Closer. What's your biggest advice for someone looking at starting online sales, getting a tight ticket closing? What's like?
It's a good question.
After being in the space, what, 6 months now?
So if you really want to do this, really like find a mirror in your house, bathroom, girlfriend's house, whatever, and just ask yourself like, what is my biggest why? And then really think about it. So for me, I really had like a really strong why. Like, I want to be able to design my own life and be the leader of it, and not just ride the wave because my family has money and everything, and I've been able to do what I want. I want to create my own luck, you know, my own happiness. And then just do your research. And for me, this combined with the fact that Club Closer felt good for me really made me become so good in so little time. So if you have that really strong why, just go for it. Like, it's gonna work out.
What allowed you to find out what the why was? Because people say like, oh, you need a really strong why, and I struggled with it for a few years. I was like, but I don't really know what my why is. I don't really have a why. What made you actually be like, okay, I now know what it is? And
Yeah, it's a good question. To be honest, I struggled with it for a long time as well, because years before I found Club Closer, I also realized like, whoa, like what do I even want in life? Like I wanted to travel. Like that's one of my priorities. I traveled the whole world. I've been to I lived in China, I lived in the United States. I went to Maldives a couple of times. All the places in the world that I wanted to visit, I visited at a young age. And so the more older I grew, the more I started thinking like, but what do I really want in life?
Yeah.
And yeah, what made me find it is just think about it, man. Talk with other people. Even just the Club Closer call. If you join a nerve, you're not joining it, it's gonna help you. Even in discovering that why. Because Thomas also asked me like, hey, why do you really want this?
But people don't even think about those things, right? That's what I think. Most people don't actually think like, what and why am I doing this?
No, but if you do, it's gonna make you a lot happier.
Yeah.
Not just in business or whatsoever, but also in life.
Yeah.
So think about what your why is,
Find
guys.
out the why.
Once you're done with this video, think about what your why is.
That's the action step.
That's the action step, and then join Club Closer.
So I got your present. It's in that drawer right in front of you. That one on that side. I think you might know what it is.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
This is so cool, dude. Should I explain what it is?
Yeah, you can explain. I don't know. Maybe people know, maybe people don't. But yeah.
Maybe you guys know, but it's like it's a statue for when you like make 10K in a month, but it's so much more than that. This is a resemblance of like a journey with emotion, pain, happiness, and now it's like it's the starting point of like so much more happiness to come. I'm really, really happy with this. Like, really happy.
Yeah, bro, you are it.
So
you are it. Of course, bro. Of course.
Thank you big time, man.
Cheers, bro.
Not just for that, but for
yeah, no, of course. But yeah, we can wrap things up there, I reckon. Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
It's cool, eh?
Wow, it's so good.
I didn't think they'd let me take it on the plane because I thought they might.
Yeah.
It's so point.
Did you only fly with hand luggage?
Yeah, I didn't check it.